using something like solar hot water for the heat source for the building. So that will require some tubes of copper on the outside, heating the water during the day from the solar radiation, which is really the most powerful form of radiation. And that will then require a heat storage tank, similar to a water heater. And maybe it's a pressure tank as well, that will serve the building with hot water. So I can use it as a radiant heat source inside the building as I transfer it inside as needed, or I can use it for hot showers, that sort of thing. Combining that with a maintained cool temperature of water inside the building should be enough to solve my heating and cooling needs. Having on photovoltaic, try to keep that as minimum as possible, its usage, because the expense is really in the batteries in the bank that's needed and how many kilowatts I'm using, which I would estimate is going to be comfortable, something over 2 kilowatts. I will try to minimize how much of that I actually use to heat the building, because any sort of radiant heat source, a toaster or something like that, is kind of a high energy suck. So I intend to maybe use something like solar hot water to heat the building, and again keeping the main water tank for the building, which I've decided is going to be more economical to import water when I need it, and then maybe get evolve and get the increase the water tanks and capture rainwater as it goes. We don't get a whole lot of rain here, so it requires similar buildings require something like 4,000 gallons of water in order to serve the building for the year. So again, looking at the sustainability of the expense of doing that, that's a lot of water storage, and requires other things like cleaning the tanks and that sort of thing. So maintaining with the building with a smaller amount of water seems to make more sense. These are all Earthship type of principles that I'm looking to employ, but I'm not looking to employ the amount of expense that goes into making that happen. The expense being in labor and work. I'm not looking to ram earth on a number of tires or something like that by embedding the building in the ground. Excavation is relatively expensive, so although it's a great system, I think I can use the earth as a battery with minimal excavation without putting the whole building inside the earth. The structure will be well insulated, and above what will be essentially an unconditioned heat bank, and I will then borrow off of that heat as needed, either passively through the building with heat rising, or more actively through active systems that rob the heat from the heat bank into the building as needed. So I can twiddle the knobs on the control of that. There will be passive solar shading, such that I keep out the solar radiation in the summer months where it's too hot and warm enough at night during that swing. If it's 30, 40 degrees in the daytime, and then 20 at night. That's perfectly comfortable at night. It's the daytime that needs to be sheltered from the radiation. So there will be shading in that fashion. The other thing with the Earthships is they tend to use like passive cooling through earth tubes, and I will be using something similar to that, but minimizing the amount of material, if possible, that I'm actually putting in the ground that's unnecessary. I will try to kill two birds with one stone on most of my project and most of my systems, so it serves more than one purpose, and again minimizes the amount of material that I'm using to serve that purpose, whether it's recycled garbage or not.